Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very special welcome to the Brombrew Arena here in beautiful Copenhagen. The Professional Darts Corporation proudly present the Danish Darts Open for the very first time in PDC history. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to welcome the players. Firstly, would you please welcome from Germany, the Maximizer, Max Hopp! Gentlemen, from England, it's time to meet the King, Mervyn King!
A raucous Saturday night crowd in Copenhagen ahead of the evening session on day 2 of the Danish Darts Open. And on tonight's smorgasbord of darts, we have the best player on the planet, Michael van Gerwen, the world champion, Rob Cross, multiple champion on the European Tour, Peter Wright, the current world number 2, the two-time world champion, Adrian Lewis, up against Michael Smith in arguably the match of the night, the Champions League winner, Mensur Suljovic. And we start with 2 European Tour champions. The number 13 seed, Mervyn King. And this man in your picture right now, Germany's number 1, Max Hopp, for the right to potentially face Rob Cross in the next round, although Rob Cross has to see off the bronzed Adonis first of all. Rob Malarkey in the chair for this one. And alongside me for the opener of the night here in Copenhagen, Dan Dawson.
Yes, what an evening we have for you. Already the Danish Darts Open has delivered some fantastic stuff. Loads of dramatic, close games, missed match darts left, right and centre. Some big averages. None better than Joe Cullen, although it looked like we might be seeing a record average at one point from Cristo Reyes, who went berserk and still managed to lose to Darren Webster. What's tonight got in store with the biggest names in the game on the way? Major champions in every single match, bar one tonight. That's the last one, and it's Ian White, Steve West, one of the best games we've got.
Game on.
And we start off with a meeting between 2 players who have a little bit of history between them as well, especially as far as Max Hopp is concerned, because it was Mervyn King who provided the opposition for Max Hopp when he made his World Championship debut in December of 2014. And it was Max Hopp who came through on that occasion by 3 sets to 2. And in fact, when you look at it, Max has got a pretty good record against Mervyn King as well.
It's a phenomenal record against Mervyn King. In fact, there aren't many players who Mervyn King has such a poor record against. In fact, Alan Norris and Tony David, the great Australian,
wow,
have exactly the same record as Max does against Mervyn. Played 5, won 4. The only person with a better win percentage after playing at least a couple of games, weirdly, is Ryan Harrington, who's won all 3 of his meetings. These strange little things come up. He's got a better win percentage against Phil Taylor as Merv than he does against Max Hopp. Better against Van Gerwen, better against Anderson.
And the one he did win earlier this year was in the first round of the very first Players' Championship event of 2018. That was by 6 legs to 1.
95.
And they have met on the European Tour before as well.
Yeah, the most recent meeting. And it was a convincing win. Oh, the Maximizer, looking at the 161, which is a shot he famously took out against Merv in that World Championship meeting when he was there as a 16-year-old. But he's going to come back and have a look at the 64.
59. Actually requires 64.
$16 or 8. Oh, he's hit the double. Well, no big drama. Because he pins the double 8, and that is a break of throw.
Double finish for Max Hopp to start things off.
Second leg, Max
Hopp with the early break. Now, Max Hopp had to overcome his fellow German Dragutin Horvat in his first round match, winning that one 6 legs to 4, although Max Hopp did have to come from behind in that one. He trailed 3-1, and also I think Max was relieved not to go to a deciding leg because Horvat missed 3 darts to force a decider as well.
Yeah, it was very scrappy. It was late at night last night. I mean, we didn't finish. It was closer to midnight than 11 o'clock, which is the scheduled finishing time. But it was late at night. It wasn't the highest quality. It was close. But Max, the first thing he said when he walked off, when he had a quick word with his coaching team, was, "I just want to forget about that game."
And I just wonder whether Max Hopp had a quick word with the schedulers and the organisers here, because of course he wants to get this match out of the way, and when he does, win or lose, he can then focus on the other matter in hand for German sport tonight, the small matter of their big meeting with Sweden in Sochi. Max would like to settle down for that one, knowing he's got a place in round 3 under his belt for tomorrow.
Well, look, I mean, we can't say that darts has got so big in Germany that Max is rivaling German footballers as one of their international sports stars. But his profile is growing and growing and growing. And at 21 years old, the first German to win a PDC ranking event, and going to be appearing at things like the match play and the European Championship this year and the Worlds. Double 6. Oh, he's busted score.
Mervyn, you require 45.
Careless from Max, and it just allows Mervyn King to step in now and look at double 16. Double 8 instead for Mervyn King, and he's inside the wire by some way as well. So Max Hopp take 2 on 66. A reprieve. Well, 55 required now. Double 18. Well, he got there in the end. I wouldn't try that one at home, but somehow Max Hopp leads by 2 legs to 0.
He is a player who will take his time, Max. He's not one of these young players who just rattles through his visits. And even when he won at the German Darts Open in Saarbrücken, he was giving himself moments, trying to compose himself ahead of some big checkouts and shots at the bullseye, particularly that he was facing. And you could hear the crowd, the noise, the tension building, and he just dealt with it.
100.
There is some German support in the crowd here tonight. They've crossed over the border into Denmark for this one.
I was intrigued as to what kind of reception he'd get. I mean, it looks like or sounds like he's the crowd favourite. Obviously, we are next to Germany, but when it comes to sport, the Danes and the Germans aren't exactly best mates, are they?
Well, and also, yeah, I mean, the Netherlands is next to Germany, and that counts for very little indeed. Yes. So I wouldn't read too much into that. But I think there is, I mean, I remember in Hamburg a couple of years ago that there were a few Denmark fans who'd made the journey over, even though there weren't any Danes involved. Clearly just loved the darts, and it was their the next best thing before a European Tour event in Denmark itself.
59.
And Max Hopp is in a good place right now. He's 17th on the Pro Tour Order of Merit, and now given the fact that Gary Anderson seems to have put the European Tour to one side this year, it means that Max could well be featuring in our forthcoming tournaments as a seeded player.
Yeah, that is true, and we know that, granted, he's going to be in Hamburg for the next one. Peter Wright will miss the European Tour after that. It'll be the first one he's ever missed in the European Tour in its current incarnation, because he's going to be on holiday. So that's another seeded player that won't be involved.
60.
And when you consider that at the end of March, Hopp was tied for 61st on the Pro Tour Order of Merit, it just illustrates how far he's come. Merv looking at double eight again. This time he finds it. Didn't find it last time, but finds it on this occasion. And gets a leg on the board. It's a hold of throw for the number 13 seed, Mervyn King, a man who has had success on the European Tour before. As I said at the outset, he had success in the 60. European Grand Prix in 2014. When he beat Michael Smith in the final.
That was in the Glass Palast. He survived a couple of championship darts from Michael Smith. But Michael Smith then 60. Went on and won the very next tournament. Michael Smith has since added to his collection of European Tour titles. Only Peter Wright and Michael van Gerwen have won more than the Bully Boy. Merv has got to finals since then, but he hasn't been able to claim another one. He is already grimacing, Merv, which suggests that the back is causing him problems.
125.
He's been on the Atkins diet, trying to shift some weight. Did work. I mean, I'm not sure how much he shifted, but he shifted a good 1.5 stone last time I spoke to him.
140.
The Atkins diet was incredibly popular about 15 years ago, wasn't
100.
it? I'm surprised you say that. I just thought it had been one of these things that had been dismissed as not that effective.
Nonsense.
Well, not nonsense, but not that effective. Anyway, whatever serves Merv best, if that's the way he wants to go.
He doesn't look comfortable. I mean, he's not holding his back or anything at the minute, but he just does. He looks like something is annoying him. I mean, maybe it's just the fact that he's playing Max off and he knows what happens usually when he plays Max.
Once again, Max has hit the single 11 there. Anyway, he's looking to tidy it up once again with double 16.
Revenue require 135. Action requires 32.
Obviously a number of Danish folklore that's been belted out by the crowd as Max Hopp establishes a 3-1 lead.
Go on, you're official PDC Europe commentary team translator. What are you singing about? Jan Molby.
Struggling, really am struggling with that one. Maybe it's an adaptation of a Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale that's been adapted to darts.
Well, we saw the little gnome Darren Webster overcome significant odds to beat Cristo Reyes earlier on and book his place in the second round. The number 11 seed Demolition Man will be in action tomorrow. Merv can't follow up the 180 with another Max.
100.
Mervyn King failed to negotiate his opening match in Gibraltar last time out on the European Tour. He was beaten by Chris Dobie by 6-3 in the second round a fortnight ago. A couple of quarter-finals on the Euro Tour this year for Merv, one at the European Open and one at the German Open. The German Open, of course, the tournament that was won by Max Hopp.
$100. Revenue require 161.
He's going to stay there. And then it'll be single 9 to leave the double 16. Which Merv is not going to miss with 3 darts in his hand. I guarantee it.
Right. Well, let's see.
100. Revenue requires
It is a cast iron.
Which dart do you think?
Guarantee.
Second dart?
You show on the fifth leg, Mervyn King.
I'll say no more.
Sixth leg Max to throw first.
Double 8 again for Mervyn King. Muttering to himself, mini monologue going on stage. Clearly not happy with something, even when he's winning legs, and he just has that pained expression etched on his face throughout this match.
Well, we're potentially only halfway through this game, and Merv has been struggling for a little while from very early on, so Max will be aware of this. Max will be watching Merv. And he'll just think, I've just got to keep plodding along. He's not actually playing especially well, Max Hopp. I mean, the average is mid-80s. Nothing special.
140.
But he's got that break. And if he can just defend that. And the only way you can defend in darts is by attacking. Hold your throw. Strong legs on throw. Doesn't matter what they do. You keep holding your throw.
Well, a win for Max Hopp today would assist his bid, or his quest, if you can call it that, to consolidate second place on the European Order of Merit. Johnny Clayton in third was knocked out earlier. James Wade and Peter Wright both within £5,000 of Max Hopp going into this weekend.
Yeah, James Wade coming through a battle with Rusty Jake Rodriguez earlier on this afternoon.
Michael Van Gerwen with a cushion of £93,000 at the top of the Order of Merit in Europe. 129 grand he's raked in over the first 7 tournaments of the year, plus whatever he can pick up here. I'm sure it will be a significant sum.
Well, he's got to get past Scott Taylor, finalist on the tour this year, the Pro Tour, the European Tour. Back winning games again after a tough few weeks, Scott Taylor. 18 segment now. Double 7.
81.
Chance for Merv to level things up.
Double 20. Leaves double top. Double 10 is not in, Merv. I mean, it doesn't matter what angle you look at it.
That Hawkeye review.
Well, yeah. Are you sure?
80.
Really?
Max requires 7.
Really, Merv?
It was. I mean, it wasn't even close. There was no debate. So, double 2 for Max.
That's a little tricky. But not too tricky.
7 black Mervyn to throw first. Game on.
It was a chance. It was missed. Mervyn King has to come from 4-2 down. It can be done.
180.
Yes, it certainly can, especially with visits like that as well. But Max here, I think he'll be focusing very much on his holes of throw, and if the opportunities come along for a break, then all well and good.
Now then, Mervyn. Oh, 4 perfect darts.
83.
Continue to be teased with the prospect of perfection this weekend.
$59.
31 years of age separating these two, and more importantly 2 legs as well. Merv back in the red stuff. Yeah, he didn't like that one bit. That has blocked a lot of that treble 20 bed, so he just shifted over anyway, and that's just tidies things up nicely for him to an extent. It means he's on 140.
And he's almost 10 points clear in the averages, Merv, and yet
42.
2 legs behind.
Revenue required 100.
Because of legs like this, where Max is a long way back.
100.
That'll do for Mervyn, leaves himself tops after 4 visits.
Yeah, I mean, Max, his average is 83 and a bit. He's had 4 from 11 on his checkout, so it's not been totally convincing on the finish. And somehow he's 4-2 in front.
You've shown the 7th leg, Mervyn.
Make that 4-3.
8th leg Max to throw first. Game on.
Well, when they met at the German Darts Grand Prix in April, Max won that one by 6 legs to 4.
100.
You could see something similar here. But Mervyn he's already fashioned a chance to get the break back. Just couldn't take it. Can he fashion another?
140.
Just the ton 40.
Yeah, many of the crowd thought it was good. Also meet at Risa in 2015.
140.
Hopp winning that one by 6 legs to 3 with an average of just 88. So this is their 3rd meeting on the European Tour. This is potentially a dangerous situation for Max Hopp. He's trying to find a way through somehow on the treble 20 bet. I think he'll have to move downstairs.
59.
And there's a chance here for Merv just to nip in front. And bang on cue, he's found the treble 1 bet anyway.
43.
And the opportunity is not taken.
Again, Max will try and stay on the treble 20, and he does find his way through this time. He is a frustrating player in this regard sometimes. Max, he switches this time, and I like that as a shot. Leaves himself 68. Yeah, he's simultaneously one of the most stubborn players staying on the treble 20 and one of the best at navigating his way through despite blocker darts. You still think he'd be better off switching more often than he does. 68 required. Merv is sat there, ready to strike if it doesn't go, and he only gets 1 dart. It looks a good guide. He does not use it.
Mervyn, you require 84.
Well, Merv has had his chances to break back in this match already. He's got another one now. Double 11.
73. Max, you
I
require
have to say, he was a long way inside the wire on that one as well. And once again, Max Hopp has got away with that.
Well, that's it. The last 2 legs that Max has won, both on his throw. Merv has had 3 darts in total to win those legs. And because he hasn't taken them, he has been pushed to the brink of defeat. We have seen defeats for seeded players in John Henderson and in Johnny Clayton.
83.
Every other seeded player has come through so far, but Mervyn King is in danger. And there you see, Max Hopp has only had 1 leg he's won in 5 visits to the board, and that was the very first one, which was a break of throw. So Max, every other leg that he's won, he's had 6 visits to the board. Mervyn has had 15 darts in each of those legs, and he's not been able to win 1 of them. Had he won 1, this would be level. Mervyn would be thrown to go in the lead. He'd be the favourite for this match. He's 11 points clear in the averages. In general, Mervyn has played better, but at little crucial moments, he hasn't come up with the goods, whether it's pinning the double or he's had a couple of poor set-up shots as well, when he looked to have had Max on the ropes. Still time for it to turn around. It is only 1 break of throw.
Yeah, I mean, in that last leg as well, he started off with a ton. He had a 134 and a 140, but sandwiched in between all that, there was that visit of 43, and he's had a couple of moments like that, just where you think he's building up a head of steam. He just seems to be derailed ever so slightly by a sloppy visit here and there, and that, I think, ultimately is how you can break it all down, and that's been the problem for Mervyn King today, or one of them. Despite the healthy averages, He's just been let down by a sluggish visit at a really bad opportunity, or at a bad moment in time.
Well, we always say it's about in the right shots at the right time, but if you're with the wrong shots at the wrong time, then you can throw a game away when you feel like you've been the better player.
180.
But if you aren't performing in the big moments, are you really the better player?
86.
Well, this is another leg where you could see the averages just go further and further apart, because Max is in danger of losing it by nearly 200 points. And it matters not, you may as well lose by 500 if you're going to lose the leg. But it does mean that you can get those weird looking stats at the end of the game. Oh, well.
Game short in the ninth leg, Mervyn King.
George Noble kindly picking up the dart for Merv there to save his back anymore. Torture.
He might have been waiting about 20 minutes if Merv had got down there to get it.
Vital. Hopp gets off to a flyer here.
100.
That's okay. Not a flyer by any stretch, but a straight ton will do for now. But Mervyn King has just cranked up the pressure ever so slightly on Max Hopp now.
The maximizer has not hit a maximum. Merv is hit 4.
100.
Only a ton. Well, look, this game suggests if Max can fire in 4 level tons and then take out 101, it will be enough to win this leg in the match. Because Merv has not been able to get a breaker throw, even though he's thrown 15 darts in every single leg that Max has thrown. But he's living dangerously with Merv already more than halfway down after just 2 visits. And that's only 60. The King has stolen the darts.
And he's in the mood for more.
100.
1-2-1, the title-winning shot that Max Hopp took out in Saarbrücken.
Mervyn, you require 121.
So both players down to a big finish. King will have first dibs.
Max, you require 144.
Will Max Hopp establish a match dart with this visit? It's a tall order. It's an improbability now.
Mervyn had a dart to break last time Max threw first. He had 2 darts to break in the leg before that when Max threw first. He's got 3 darts to break here. And finally, he's found a way to do it. Mervyn King has the throw in a last leg decider. We are going all the way. And once again, the King and the Maximizer have given us another fascinating clash.
Very much in keeping with the tournament. Another battle going the distance. We had 6 yesterday. And Mervyn King breaking at just the right time.
68.
But only 68 with his first visit. Now, Max, will that give him reason to be cheerful and reason to be hopeful once more? Loose first dart.
96.
Recovers slightly.
Making the right decision to switch down the board there.
135.
Rob Cross or Steve Beeson await the winner of this one. They're involved in our 5th match of the evening session. Sudovic and Joyce on the way next. Champions League winner Mentor Sudovic against relentless Ryan Joyce.
134.
And it's advantage Mervyn King now.
Well, fair play to Mervyn King, because if anything, he has got better as this game's gone on. The average has crept up to between 95 and 96.
115.
And Max is trying. He's trying, but it's not enough right now. Should stay. Yeah, you did stay there. And that will leave him the double 12 that helped him get the break of throw in the last leg. Mervyn King left 24 after 12 in the previous leg. He's left 24 after 12 here, and even a max for Max
140
probably wouldn't have been enough.
Mervyn King, the number 13 seed here in Copenhagen this weekend, is now looking at double six for a place in round 3 of the Danish Darts Open. And Mervyn King comes from behind. He overturns a 5-3 deficit against Germany's number 1 Max Hopp to secure his place in the final day here in Copenhagen. And he will play either the world champion Rob Cross or Steve Beaton in the last 16 tomorrow. For Max Hopp, well, no doubt he'll reflect on what might have been. He was in great shape there, he was in a great position, but Mervyn King just kept on plugging away and found the break at just the right time to get back on terms. And then in the decider, he was quickly in charge and quickly in control as well, and Max Hopp quickly ran out of answers as well. And it's the King who goes through to the 3rd round tomorrow. Mensur and Ryan Joyce on the way next for you.
Mervyn, congratulations. That young man has been a thorn in your side in the past, and you had to work hard to get a victory against him there.
And he still is. He's a great player. I love him to bits. Max is a great guy, and he's a great player, but that's nice to actually get a win over him on the stage. I've done him on the floor a few times, but on the stage, I don't know, I just can't seem to play my game against him. I didn't even tonight, but at the end of the day, I got the win, so I'm happy, Bunny.
When you're a seeded player like this, it's all about getting through the second day, and then the final day, that's where you've really got to do the business and bring out the big guns, the A game.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you've been around this long enough. You know, we know, everyone in here knows, because they wouldn't be here otherwise.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mervyn King through to the final day of action of the Danish Darts Open. The King, a former winner on the Euro Tour. Go on, Merv.
Thanks, guys. Cheers, baby. Thank you.
Cheers, baby. We'll continue. First game done here in Copenhagen.